The Indiana Pacers miraculously win game one after being down by 14 points with 3 minutes to go in regulation. They won in overtime 138-135. Andrew, best game of the playoffs?
Easily. Best game I've seen in a while, and it was just crazy from start to finish. At some point in the first quarter, both teams were shooting over 70% from the floor, and it just carried on throughout the whole game. It felt like the Knicks were pulling away when they went on that 14-0 run when Jalen Brunson got his fifth foul and had to exit the game. But man, everybody just stepped up for the Pacers, and what a shot by Tyrese Halliburton. Genuinely one of the craziest shots to send a game into overtime I've ever seen in my life. That going off the back of the rim and then bouncing all the way up, like it looked past the shot clock and then coming straight down into like a essentially nothing but net. Genuinely just such a crazy shot. And then him hitting the choke, him hitting the choke was so insane. And then it ended up not even being the game winner. And my first thoughts on that, I was like, bro, if he hits the choke and they don't win the game, like that's just some bad juju. Like it just doesn't feel, you can't hit the choke and lose the game. But they did know overtime. Obi Toppin had some key points in overtime. Just in general, the Knicks just didn't have it all there in overtime, and they got one final shot with Jalen Brunson. But it felt like they were a little bit gassed towards the end of that game, and just what a game in general.
Yeah, it's definitely tough whenever you do give up a lead like that and the role players are playing as well as they were for the Pacers if you're the Knicks, even if you're at home, to get any sort of momentum going. But it was close down the stretch. The Knicks had their chances, especially on that final possession. Jalen Brunson with the air ball cat missing off the front part of the rim. Dude, is this the greatest game from a role player in playoff history? Legitimately, I had that thought.
Yeah, and we're talking about Aaron Nesmith here,
Yep.
obviously. He made 6 of the 7 three-pointers straight for the Pacers down the stretch, which really brought them back into the game. It just felt like that game was over, but he just kept on hitting shot after shot. It was genuinely crazy. He made 6 straight three-pointers and ended up finishing that game with 30 points. Overall, Nesmith is kind of known as a really good perimeter defender and can give you a scoring punch, but man, he was just on fire today, and he was like, I wouldn't dispute it from what I've seen, especially for like a playoff performance, especially down the stretch. He came in with less than 5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter and just could not miss. He ignited a fire under the Pacers and really propelled them to that victory.
Yeah, there are so many great moments, and there are so many great moments in the finals that I can potentially think of in recent memory. But to be able to do what he did, 8 of 9 from three, I'm sure you mentioned all of the different stats. To score 30 points in this game was just actually unbelievable. And now they are up 1-0 on this Knicks team in this series. The Knicks did plenty enough to win this game. Obviously, with the Pacers charging back, it was going to be too little too late for the Knicks to try to recover. But Jalen Brunson had 43 points. Karl Anthony Towns had 35 points. Some of the numbers maybe a little bit skewed because of overtime. But what did you like from this Knicks team, even despite this loss?
Yeah, I mean they did like you mentioned, they did enough to win this game. They came out of the blocks hot. They Mitchell Robinson just in general has been one of their best players over the course of this playoffs. He is just always around the ball when it comes to rebounding and is like has been the best offensive rebounder in all of the playoffs and just one of the better 6 men coming off the bench for any team that we have seen during the course of this playoffs. His numbers offensively aren't always there, but that's not what they need him for. He's gonna miss free throws and he's not always gonna get like that huge scoring punch. But when he's in the game, he's usually a plus on the plus minus because of the fact that he gives you such a big advantage on the second chance opportunities. And just when it comes to offensive rebounds and even defensively, he like if Mitchell Robinson is in the area, you think that he's going to win the rebounding there. So he provided them with a good game. Obviously, Karl Anthony Towns was like limping towards the end of that game, but throughout the course of that game, he had a good enough game. Felt like he was looking for a couple fouls there, but like even so, like he had 35 points. And when you get 48 points from your best 2 players, that is exactly what you need. Maybe you wanted a little bit, like you don't want a little bit more from anybody, to be honest. Obviously, like this game like ended up being so high scoring, like given the fact that it went to overtime. But even before then, both these teams were just shooting spectacularly and got the second chance opportunities that they needed to. And everybody played well. It was just both teams like playing phenomenal basketball, and the Pacers were able to come back. And they've been doing it like all playoffs, and it feels like for the last 2 years now, where it doesn't feel like they're out of the game. They were down 20 points against the Cavs. Like Tyrese Halliburton comes out and shoots at like almost reminiscent shot to the one he did today. And with Reggie Miller in the building, being able to do that, the choke sign, the history behind that, screaming all over the court, being able to hit that shot with Reggie Miller right there, staring him down. It was just such a great moment and such a great basketball game. I don't even know where I started at the start of that, but just reminiscing
No.
over what was.
I'll completely agree with everything that you said there. Honestly, just an amazing basketball game, an amazing basketball atmosphere to do it at MSG too, and just like relive kind of some of the great rivalry series that these teams have had in the 90s and then to the like early 2000s part, just 2000, I guess. But just an unbelievable game. And we've seen it from this Pacers team, as you've mentioned, and this Knicks team as well. I think that the Pacers have momentum certainly going into game 2, but this Knicks team has fought so hard in this playoffs, and they've been counted out a lot too, because I still think at the very beginning of the Celtics series, a lot of people picked the Celtics, but they are just that they won't quit. I think we're in for a long series here. One name that I did want to mention was Mitchell Robinson, because he had such an impact in the first quarter whenever he came in. And it's a shame that is definitely going to get lost in all of this, after the dust has settled, even because of how great the Pacers ended this game. But it definitely felt like that should have been a name that needed to be mentioned. Okay, so let's look ahead to game 2. It's on Friday night. There are no multi-day rests for the rest of the series, I believe. So what are you looking for in game 2?
Yeah, I mean, I just hope we get a recreation of whatever today was.
Dude, I hope so.
Yeah, no, I mean, that would be best case scenario. This is like one of the best basketball games I've watched in a very, very long time. It felt like the atmosphere of like a really, really hyped like college basketball game, like a March Madness like game where everybody was just on their feet for like an extended period of time. It felt like there's just such high stakes in this game. And just in general, just the atmosphere around MSG and everything there when the Knicks went on their 14-0 run, when Brunson got his 5th foul, and just everything about this game, it was cinema all around. So I want, just in general, like as a in general basketball game, I want the same atmosphere around a game 2 that feels like it could be must win for the Knicks. And on the Knicks side, you want Jalen Brunson to just keep on performing how he's performing. Maybe don't pick up early fouls and be able to play the majority of the fourth quarter, because although they did go on a run without him, you never want your best player sitting on the bench. Karl Anthony Towns can have anything reminiscent of what he did today. I think the Knicks have a good shot, but from the Pacers side, just continue on with the depth that they've had all playoffs long. They played 10 guys today, and they were just like, not everybody was perfect for them, but they gave rest of the players when they needed to. And in general, like Tyrese Halliburton stepped up when he needed to. Obviously, we mentioned Aaron Nesmith. He had a really good game. So on their side, like just having the depth around their team, and then if you can just get another guy to step up around Tyrese Halliburton, I think they have a good shot too. So all of those things I'm looking forward to in game 2.
Yeah, any help that Tyrese Halliburton can get is definitely appreciated, I think, for their team. It feels like it's kind of a different character every single game for the Pacers. But I'm about to give the Pacers a really nice compliment here, but I do want to recognize that I know the Knicks were able to take care of business against the Pistons and against the Celtics, but this Pacers team went 5 games against the Bucks. They had some close games, finished them all out. Went 5 games against the Cavs, finished them all out. Close, some were close, some others not so much. They have shown, if there is any doubt that this team in anybody's mind is fraudulent, they don't know what they're looking at, because this is a team that is genuinely a championship contender, in my opinion. Now, I know the West is going to look, they're going to come out swinging in the finals if the Pacers do make the finals, but this team is a true championship contender. I don't care who they would play in the finals, but I felt like that needed to be mentioned.